Hello again. It's summer in the UK, so obviously the weather's atrocious. I've got a day off, and instead of doing things on the car, I'm sat inside thinking about doing stuff on the laptop. But I thought I'd post a quick video. You might remember from the video which has featured the Jaaaaag before that the rear door handle driver's side had basically come out so far that it then loses whatever it's latched to inside the door, and the handle stays in the outward position and won't go back in. I couldn't find any videos on it. I did do a bit of searching around on the forums and found two people who had managed to do the job without having to take the inner door skin off, which is something I wanted to avoid because there's lots of clips and fasteners and I didn't want to risk damaging anything. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what I did and how it worked, because it has worked. Now my door handle is fully functional. So if you remember, this door handle was slightly, it was set out, the door was completely inoperative. What I did was remove this silver tab. Basically I used a very small flat bladed screwdriver to prise it away. Obviously be super careful not to prise it against the paintwork or the metalwork because you'll cause damage. Once this is removed, you can then see, if I hold it up close, the black tab which moves back and forth as you pull the handle. With this removed, you can gently pull the handle past its normal range until it's about 3 inches away from the body of the car. Once inside, you'll see there's a black square in the door material. It's very dark in there as you'd anticipate. Trying to shine a torch in doesn't really help, but you'll the best way I found out was reading about it. Was difficult to put into words, but I put my little finger through the hole towards the front of the car, and you can feel a tab in there, and I move that with my little finger and the door pops open. So you've then got a better idea what it is you need to do. That's the latch you need to get that back around. I got myself a bit of picture framing wire, around about 15 centimeters, 6 inches in length, and I formed a long loop with it, similar to the size of a little finger, slightly bent towards the front of the car. I then thread the loop into the hole, hooked it around the part which releases the door, the little tab which releases the door, and then maneuvered the handle back inside so that it then sat behind the tab. You can then, you need to pull it into the open position to do it. Once you've got the handle back as far as it can do, you can then slowly pull the kind of lasso, the piece of wire out from one end. Be careful it doesn't kind of foul against the bodywork and scratch it, but you can then maneuver that wire out, and the tab which opens the door then sits behind the latch on the plastic part of the door handle. It's a bit fiddly. Somebody described it as a 10-minute job. However, if you were to do it again, it's probably a 2-minute job. But it doesn't mean, it means you then have to remove the door insides. It can all be done in situ, and the most you'll need is a small flat blade screwdriver to release this chrome trim, and yeah, around about 15 centimeters, 6 inches of small wire to latch around the tab inside. But you can find the tab, the best way is, like I said, by sticking your finger in towards the front of the car, and you can feel it. You can kind of feel it inside, and you'll know you've got it because once you start moving it, the door will pop open. It's that tab that you need to maneuver towards the outer edge of the door, push the handle back in, and the clip will then sit in a position, whereas when you release the inner tab, it sits on the correct side of the handle then. I hope that's kind of helped a little bit rather than just reading what it is you need to do.